Rishi, can I just ask Sitawu, union members, what are some of the grievances that they do have? I mean, they have accused PRASA of poor management, exploitation of workers, problems with outsourcing. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, I've indicated to you it's very confusing that the very issues that were listed there was part of a joint dispute which they have taken to the CCMA together with the other union, UNTU. There was then a high-level engagement with, executive management, where there was an agreement, a special bargaining forum will be held to resolve the issues. That bargaining forum sat from the 4th till the 8th of April. There's now been an agreement signed nationally on the very same issues. We now see what the issue is really about. It's about the agenda to take us and distract us from the disciplinary action that's being taken and the investigation that's underway against certain individuals, which is implicated within Sitawu. Some of the leaders of this campaign is actually implicated in serious, there are serious allegations against them. And, so that is at the moment, the issue. So we realize now, the masters of this campaign will now come out. They'll be exposed because employees are also realizing, and the campaign and the strike is not getting support. So employees are also making up their own minds, and they also reading between the lines, and they can understand that the strike and the decision to strike initially had nothing to do with labor dispute issues and issues of employee interest.
What I touched on earlier, what has been the sort of knock-on effects, though, of all of this to your man in the street? I mean, you guys still enjoy the lion's share of public transport users in the city, just in spite of all of this.
Contrary to the propaganda being spread by Sitawu since the first day they embarked on the illegal strike, which was around the 8th, we continue to run services since the first day of the strike. It is therefore that since last night and yesterday they have gone over to this, criminal activity because they've realized that within our key departments, we've got all our trains running. We've been able to do that continuously, and therefore they've gone over to the destruction of infrastructure and assets, and to try and bring the service to a standstill. But we want to assure commuters we will continue to operate our train services. Our maintenance teams will work around the clock to ensure that we continue to run our services. Unfortunately, this morning the commuters were severely impacted on all lines. We had delays of in excess of 60 minutes, which is more than an hour. And you can obviously understand, what impact that has, first of all, on the commuters, kids going to school, to university, but also on the productivity of the Western Cape. So this in itself, this criminal, activity needs to be nipped in the bud immediately, and we'll work with the police to ensure that we assist them so that the perpetrators can be brought to book.
Richard, final question. PRASA Metrorail has been under a lot of criticism over the years for sort of decades of underinvestment or so-called neglect, outdated technology. What have you got to say about that? I mean, you go up to Joburg and you catch a Gautrain and you think, why can't Cape Town's trains be like this? What is the answer to that question?
Well, I think the answer is it's obvious. The Gautrain is a very new system, and if you look at the investment, the huge investment that was put into the Gautrain, it doesn't compare with what we're getting as PRASA or as Metrorail in terms of, investment. But we also understand the strategic nature of services like the Gautrain, and therefore, as PRASA, we are now, dealing with the issue of aging and ailing infrastructure and rolling stock, and therefore we've embarked on a modernization program, which is well underway. And in Gauteng, we've already received the first test train. Gauteng phase 1 will be phase 1 for the rollout of the new trains. And Cape Town, we're already busy with our new operational control center at Bellville. We're also, busy with our signaling program has also kicked off here to prepare us for when we receive our first batch of new trains, which will be in around 2019. However, I think the reality that we need to understand that the modernization program is a process over time. To replace and recapitalize rail infrastructure doesn't happen within 5 years. you know, you're looking at least 10, 15 years before we'll see the full impact of that. And whilst we are actually busy with the modernization program, we will still rely on the infrastructure that we have here, you know, the old infrastructure. And our focus is also to ensure that they are maintained and, you know, we continue to still operate at reliable and acceptable levels of service. And we call on the community. It is their service, it is their trains, they need to own these assets, they need to work with us so that we, you know, we together can build the type of railway system which they deserve and they own, and can provide them with reliable mobility and improve ultimately their quality of life.